Welcome back to the U.S. Hot Rod Association's Monster Truck Challenge. This action on this program is coming to you from the Colorado State Fairgrounds in Pueblo, Colorado. Now, in the first round, Toughing Up had problems with its remote ignition interrupt system. Since you can't race in the U.S. Hot Rod Association competition without this important safety equipment, we figured it might be a good time to tell you what it's all about. And what better fellow to do that than from the USHRA, Ned Walliser. All right, the remote ignition interrupt, fancy title. What does it mean, Ned?
A big name for such a simple device. What it is, it's just a receiver that is mounted onto each and every truck that runs our circuit, and also a transmitter which is held by the official at the race. This system is used to shut the engine off if the official feels he needs to do so.
So this actually goes on the truck, and the official has that right on the field, right?
Right on site at the end of the track. We have 2 officials, 1 official per truck.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of shows, certainly here on Monster Truck Challenge. When you guys show up at an event, the trucks just don't roll out there and start going. There's a very lengthy security and safety inspection that they go through. Help me out with this. What is that all about?
Well, that is correct. They do go through a safety tech inspection. Each truck has several safety items that are installed on the truck, such as a transmission blanket, drive shaft loops, braking systems, and of course the most important, the ignition interrupt system. We test that system in tech inspection and make sure that it does work properly. And also when the truck comes to the line, to the starting line, we make sure that it is functioning properly there. The truck comes to the line, it is started, we shut the truck off. If the ignition interrupt system does not work, the truck does not compete.
Now what's the red light I see inside the truck? What's that?
That is strictly for the official. It indicates that the system is installed and properly functioning.
Okay. Now, I know the sport is evolving from a safety standpoint. Where have we been and where are we going?
Well, we hope we're going to great lengths. In years past, we had a system that was as easy as an on-off button and a button to press to shut the truck off. Very simple. In today's standards, we have this system, which is a multi-channel. Each truck has its own channel, so we can designate which truck we are controlling.
So this one's going to the museum then, huh?
That is correct.
Ned, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ned Walliser from the USHRA. Now there's more action to come from Colorado, and we'll bring it to you in just a second when Monster Truck Challenge continues right here on ESPN. Don't go away. Welcome back, everybody. You know, we love to hear from you. Really, truly, we do. We'd like you to write any questions you may have about technology or anything else about monster truck racing. We'd like you to hear from the experts at the U.S. Hot Rod Association so you can get their answers to your questions. Well, as a matter of fact, just drop us a line at the USHRA Monster Truck Challenge. Our address is 477 East Butterfield, Suite 400, Lombard, Illinois, and the zip code is 60148. Speaking of the mail, our Alert Viewer Envelope Art Award goes to Jonathan McCallum of Louisville, Kentucky. Jonathan is obviously a Gravedigger fan, and he likes to watch our show with his pal Steve Morgan. Thanks for watching, guys, and great work with the art. All right, time to go back to Pueblo, Colorado, round 2 in our battle for the championship at the Colorado State Fairgrounds. Now, the stands are jammed with monster truck fans on a beautiful night right at the foothills of the Rockies. The second round matchups go like this. Equalizer sees his first side-by-side action of the night. He's coming off a first-round bye as fast qualifier to tangle with Carolina Crusher. Gary Wiggins at the wheel now, substituting for Gary Porter in the Crusher. He had to beat Tough Enough in round 1 to get here. You've got to give the edge to David Morris, who qualified almost a second faster than Gary Wiggins and saved his equipment from first-round abuse. The other round 2 race matches King Crunch against Gravedigger. Rob Grossman doesn't seem to have his truck dialed in. I don't know, maybe it's the thin air. Lyle Hancock, on the other hand, has Gravedigger running at full power. Now to call the action once again, here's Joe Lowe.
Thanks, Ken. As the excitement builds, the equalizer is back. He was our fastest qualifier. Got to sit out round number 1, but here he is in round number 2. The hottest truck on the circuit out of Springfield, Tennessee, David Morris in the equalizer. Going up against Gary Wiggins and Gary Porter's Carolina Crusher. Off the line, Carolina Crusher. Whoa, a great hole shot. David Morris trying to battle back, has some problems between the sets of cars. Has to back out of it and straighten things out. And Wiggins has no problem whatsoever taking out the equalizer. He dug down deep, and Carolina Crusher gets a win. He has the truck tuned in for this rocky mountain high, and high up in the sky he goes over the second set of cars. Gary Wiggins?
Yeah, the truck seemed to work real good, and we worked on it a little bit, and so we feel good about the way the truck landed and worked out.
I got her a little sideways there, and then I couldn't get my speed I needed either. He jumped out in front of me right there. He had a good hole shot, and then he just pulled me all the way down the track. I just couldn't catch him.
Our next matchup between Gravedigger and King Crunch, and Gravedigger's Lyle Hancock talks about Rob Grossman.
He's a tough competitor, and like always, he always seems to come out from behind somehow, and he'll get you in the end if you ain't real careful. So I got my guard up, got everything all tuned up, and I think we're running pretty good.
Now, the Gravedigger Racing team keeps a log of everywhere they go for fuel settings, and they certainly seem to have the digger dialed in as he gets set to go against King Crunch. Off the line, King Crunch has problems, and the Gravedigger has all sorts of power. All sorts of power as he goes over that first set of cars. Pedal to the metal and sails over the second set, and he's going to a final against Carolina Crusher in Pueblo. While most of the other trucks seem to be suffering from fuel problems, the thin air situation has not been a problem for the Carolina Crusher or the Gravedigger. Those are the two in our monster final. But Lyle insists it's been a tough night.
Well, we had to give it everything we could get and get used to the track, see how we're going to come off the cars. I know I'm going to have to run the truck just about as hard as it's going to go when we get to the finals.
Came up on the short end of the stick against the Gravedigger.
Yeah, unfortunately we did, but he's got his days, and we'll be back.
I noticed a little problem in launch. What went wrong?
Well, I hadn't told anybody, but I've been afraid something like that might happen. The motor is hurt. We hadn't been home to freshen up or put a new one in the last 2 months, and one side of the motor, I'm not running any intake valves. The cam lobes are just about flattened out, and if it makes it through this weekend's race, I'll be doing real good.
I got to be honest with you. I have never seen Gravedigger run any better than he did on that last race. Lyle Hancock has won both of his races by a mile. Gary Wiggins dug deep to come up with that little something extra that gave him his win over fast qualifier Equalizer. So the battle for the championship in Colorado will be between two guys who have come all the way from North Carolina. But only one of them gets to go back east with the big prize, and we'll find out which one is the lucky one when the USHRA's Monster Truck Challenge continues in just a moment.